Hello, friends. Good afternoon. I had said that I was going to go live really early this morning making these salads because I generally make them around 7:15 in the morning. But my kids were kind of crazy and I kind of just nixed that idea and said I'll do it now. And my husband will have to come pick it up instead of just taking it with him. So anyways, here we are in my kitchen and we're making vegan salads today. As you probably know, I think you know, I'm not like pro-vegan. I don't think everyone needs to be vegan. I'm not vegan. But some people feel really good vegan, or they just feel really good primarily plant-based and having most of their food be plants. And so my husband is one of those people. It's actually a new thing. Within the last couple of months, he's been feeling a lot better, kind of experimenting with that. And I always encourage people to do those kinds of things because what you need changes as times change, right? So at a certain time in your life, you may feel really good doing one thing. And then as you change and your body changes and your hormone changes and your life circumstances changes, maybe you live somewhere else now, what you thrive off of changes too. So the first thing I do, you see I have 2 containers here. I started putting them in Tupperware instead of like the pretty bowls because now my husband takes one and his partner also gets one too. So I have and it's much easier to carry with a top. So this is my favorite bag of salad from Trader Joe's, the herb mix, because then you get the herbs in there, and fresh herbs just make everything like a million times better. Oh, hold on, I need my knife. And so I cut it open. Obviously, you don't have to do that. If you like know where your scissors are all the time, you can use scissors, but I'm gonna close this. But my older son's going to a science tech camp, and today was like robot day, and he dressed up as a robot, which was amazing. But of course, like all last night, he was like building this robot costume, and so he took my scissors, and now of course I don't know where they are. Anyway, so first I just empty the bag of salad. You don't have to have such a huge amount, and I'll tell you that my husband's partner, who some of you may know, Alone, he doesn't like it so big. He gets the smaller bowl. He gets like half a bag. And that's more of like a normal serving. My husband takes a ridiculously huge salad, and then kind of like, he eats it like, I think he eats it like twice. Like he eats it in the morning and then he eats it again in the afternoon. Of course today, not in the morning because it's already the afternoon and it's not there. But okay, then I'm going to show you like the substitutions that I also always do. So first of all, I'll explain the beans. Okay, today I'm using canned beans. Should I show you what I have out? Here, let me flip the camera for a second so you can see what I have out. I have hummus because sometimes they like hummus, so and you don't have to use the individual packs. This is just what I have. Hey Lala, hey Amy, hey Brittany, hey Liana, hey Hootie, hey other people who I don't know who you are because it's not showing me, but if you say hi, then I will. I have my avocado, have sunflower seeds, the beans, sun-dried tomatoes, and capers. So basically I change things up all the time so it doesn't get boring. But I'll tell you, I need my can opener. Sometimes I will make my own beans, like I'll soak them. Oh, and if you are a person who wants to do that, go ahead. Definitely soak them for 24 hours in the cold. Don't put it in your fridge because it doesn't, the chemical reactions that we want to happen won't happen. We want, basically, sorry, I keep itching my nose. Well, it's not your salad, you don't care. Okay, but I'm not itching my nose. Okay, anyways, I'm opening the can as I'm talking about this. Basically, beans have very long chain sugars, which are really hard to break down. It's actually similar to the sugars that are in seaweed, which is why some people also like have a hard time digesting seaweed. But anyways, if you soak it overnight, I'm just pouring off the water. If you soak it overnight, and ideally even 24 hours, that helps break down. So it's not just about getting soft, because to get it soft, you can just like boil it real fast if you wanted to, but that's not what our aim. Our aim is not just to get it soft. Don't cut yourself on that. Our aim is to break down the sugar so that when you eat it, it won't make you a musical person, aka super farty. Okay, so my husband likes like half the can, which is like a cup, I'd say, and so does Alone. So in they go. And obviously you could make one, but I just find it's pretty much as easy to make 2 as it is to make 1. So I just do it. And then I always do some kind of carb like that. So sometimes it's beans that I made. Sometimes it's beans from the can when I'm lazy. There are a lot of things I won't do canned. Oh, this is how I do the avocado, by the way. So first, well, it's pretty perfect, not 100%. First I cut it in half, and then I chunk it. I'm gonna see, like I'm cutting it like that. Can you see that? So it's like the lines are down and then across like that. So it's like squares, and then when I scoop it in, it like lands in squares. So, but an avocado is a super awesome fat, and it's monounsaturated. I'd say honestly, I think avocado is like the least controversial fat of all. Even though I'm not, as you guys know, I'm not afraid of fats, but some people are. But avocado is like the least controversial. If you have questions about fats, let me know and I will answer them. So I give each of them a whole avocado, and that's one of the reasons why it's actually so filling. If any of you are used to like trying to be good and having a salad for lunch, and then you're hungry like 10 minutes later, even though your stomach still feels like full, but you feel hungry, it's because there wasn't enough fat. If you add in a whole avocado or even a half of an avocado, like this is like for 2 dudes that like exercise a lot. Like if it was for me, I wouldn't put in a whole avocado. Like I don't need that much. And my husband is so chill about eating leftovers. And so I made this really yummy guacamole last night. And so his avocado is just this leftover guacamole that's really good. It's the one I've made it with you before, actually. If any of you remember, it's the one with like the chopped up onions, and then I put in, obviously salt, but I put in the jalapeno juice from like the pickled peppers, the pickled jalapenos. It's so good, and it makes it awesome. So if you have a chill person, or you are a chill person, you can do that too. And if you add in all that liquid and put just something on top so it's not interacting with the air, the avocado will stay pretty green instead of getting brown. So that's great. Okay. I didn't really, it wasn't like a long-term plan that I was going to put these in there, but Alon mentioned the other day after I put in some hummus, and he was like, that was so good. So I'm just adding in hummus, which you are welcome to do also. And look, the whole thing just kind of flops in there. And, oh, the trick, you know when you buy avocados and then you're so like sad that like when you go to use them, they're like brown and spotty. Like you're like, oh, it was hard 5 minutes ago, now it's brown and spotty, like the little like gif that I posted in here earlier, or maybe last night, I don't know. So my trick to avoid that, and it's really effective, is I buy them all, like I buy them however they are available, and then I leave them out in here. Can you see it there? Right now there's none there because they're all in the fridge. That as soon as they get like just barely soft, like not perfect creamy, as soon as they have like a little bit of give, like, oh, you could put that into guacamole. It's not soft enough to be like perfect, but like it would work if you really mashed. You put it in the fridge and it slows down the ripening process a lot. And then I just pull them out of the fridge whenever I need them, and it's great. Okay, so now I'm gonna put in the sun-dried tomatoes. I get this big one from Costco, but you can get them other places. If you are sensitive to sulfites, you may not know what that is, but if you're a person that your stomach's upset all the time, you may be sensitive to sulfites. I think my mom is actually sensitive to sulfites. I could be wrong. She's definitely sensitive to MSG. Like before MSG was known how bad it is, like my mom always was like, no MSG, because she got like a huge like headache right away from it. Anyways, I'm just gonna rinse my hands real fast because I find it easiest. You know what, actually? I have a spoon with the holes, I can get them out. So these are the capers. I'm just doing them instead of pickles today. The truth is these ones actually aren't fermented, so they don't have all the same health benefits. But I think especially if you're having a salad every day, it's really important to have variety. Otherwise you're gonna like be over it really fast. And so sometimes I do pickles, sometimes I do capers. Sometimes I'll do sauerkraut because sauerkraut is also fermented and awesome. And then, oh, let me get, my husband's been preparing walnuts. So he's gonna get walnuts. I'll show you what their salads look like from the top in a second. Kind of pretty, even though it's in a container. Okay, so he just finished the walnuts. Look, walnuts are so healthy. Okay. And Alone prefers the sunflower seeds. So, and honestly, I would put fresh tomatoes in here because it would look really good if I did that. But I don't do that because they both don't like fresh tomatoes. So it just would get thrown away. Okay, so that's Yehuda's. Sorry, it's like all blurry today. There we go. Okay, that's Yehuda's. We have his guac, his black beans. Oh, my finger's making it blurry again. Whoop. Okay, well, you can see everything. And I'm going to put the dressing on, too. And that's Alone's. And, again, yeah, if you're a person that likes tomatoes or anything red, like sometimes I'll put in like a red apple. That goes really well in a salad. I've done peaches. They weren't so into that. I like peaches in a salad. Anyway, so this is, okay, so you could do, often I will do the awesome creamy dressing, the creamy ginger sesame one. But again, I like to change it up. This is my other like favorite dressing. I haven't done it with you guys. I totally should. Like any of you who've ever been a private client, this is the one that like I tell everyone, this is the best salad dressing. It's also easier. Okay, but it's a balsamic based one that I will do with you guys. Maybe we'll do that next week. Anyways, so I do pour it on top. I don't like give them like a little container. That's like too annoying for everyone. If you're like more of a perfectionist, like you can. But I find, even though I drizzle it on top, here, you want to see again what it looks like? There you go. Because they don't shake it up, it doesn't make it like soggy or gross. So they just bring it like that, and then when they eat it, they shake it up, and it's good to go. So again, easy, fast, and super healthy. It's filling, I'll tell you why, because like I mentioned, there's plenty of good fat. So if you're like leaving out the fats, you will not be satisfied. There's no way that you're going to have a salad that's all vegetables and maybe some beans or some other carb. Oh, like I was mentioning, sometimes I will, instead of putting beans, or sometimes I'll do lentils, sometimes I do quinoa, sometimes I do potatoes, like roast potatoes left over from Shabbat, or roast, let me just sit for a second, roast beets I'll also do. And it's not that I'm doing any of those things, like, I'm not going to make more work for myself. I just find that, like, first of all, it's really healthy, but also it's super convenient for repurposing leftovers. Like, if I'm making quinoa for Shabbat, I just, like, make double, and then I have it for the first couple days of the week and, like, put it in their salad instead of, you know, beans. And if I'm making roast potatoes for Shabbat, I'll make double, and then they have that for a couple days, assuming that my kids, like, don't finish it in one sitting, because they always like pick at it and it often doesn't last that long, is the truth. But a lot of people are afraid of carbs, and like, you know, nothing is good for everyone, and almost all healthy foods are good for some people. So I'll tell you the truth, I don't eat salads like that. I mean, like I would, like if I was at your house and that's what you served, I wouldn't be like, no, I don't eat that. But I'm saying if I'm going to make myself a lunch salad, it won't be like that. I personally do a lot better. The lighting is so weird. I personally do a lot better. I'm distracted by my own like light on my face. Okay. Yeah, it is so yum, Sarah. I hope you enjoy. With less carbs and more protein, like more animal protein. So the beans have plant protein. But they still, like, even the protein in beans, if you want, I can check the can. Like, let's see, an average can, here's chickpeas, right? So in a half a cup of chickpeas, there's 6 grams of protein, but there's 22 grams of carbohydrate. So again, that's not inherently negative. It just depends on like what works for you. So for me, I definitely do better, less carb. I just feel better. My brain works better. My body feels better. Everything just like flows better. But not everyone's like that. And some people do amazing and feel amazing on this. And that is my husband and his partner. And so if I were to make this for myself, I'd probably do half an avocado and maybe 1 or 2 hard-boiled eggs and leave out the beans and probably the hummus, because I also don't really love hummus. But I'm just giving you that idea if you're a person who you kind of feel like you also do better without that. Maybe we'll do another salad of like ones that I actually eat all the time. We'll do that. But yeah, so that's basically the benefit of why it works. It's the complex carbs. Like this also would not be filling if we did white rice or I'm trying trying to think if I never peel the potatoes, and so that helps too, but I'm wondering like if I did, I don't know. Even white potatoes, they're still actually complex. It's very, very different than like white noodles or something like that. Potatoes are still legit. They're still real food that your body knows what to do with. Anyway, so I hope this is really helpful. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And, what else? Salads are great. Honestly, I'll tell you, when it comes to salads, the thing that makes a difference is like you need to have a good dressing, which I already taught you guys one really awesome, and I'll do another one with you guys soon. It needs to be made. If every time you're going to make a salad, it's like a pain in the neck, like you'll never do it. But if you buy the bagged lettuce, which I totally recommend, and I have, if you look at my fridge right now, I have like 10, or I get at Costco, like the big boxes, and I buy like 3 boxes. Oh, hack. Do not, when you're done, when you have like this half of bag left, don't roll it up tight like this and think you're preserving it. If you do this, when you take the bag out tomorrow morning, it's going to be gross. Instead, like, close it only as little as you need to so that it's filled with air so that the lettuce doesn't get smashed. That's the best way to do it. Or even sometimes, like, if you know you're not going to use that for 2 days, like, that will get finished in my house before the day is over, so I don't care. But if I was like, oh, we're not going to have salad for 3 days, which never happens, but if I were to think that, I would put it in a Ziploc bag with like a napkin, like a paper napkin, and then I would blow up the bag so it was like kind of like a balloon almost, you know, and that would prevent it also from getting like smashed and gross and like nasty. How you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so have yummy things on hand to put in. So if you're someone who does well on like beans and legumes, have that around. So yeah, you can, you know, be ambitious and say you're going to make them. And if you do, just make double. You can even keep it in the freezer. That's what I do. Like, so when I make lentils or beans, I'll make like a pot of it. And then when it's done cooking, once it's cold, I'll put it like into either Tupperware if I'm feeling fancy, which usually I'm not. And I just put it in Ziploc bags and then put like however many bags of that will fit in a big Ziploc bag. So I have in my freezer like a bag of maybe a double portion of lentils or beans. So then if I know, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna make the salad, I just like pull it out at night, and then in the morning I have like defrosted, ready to go beans. Same thing again with quinoa, I'll do that. Quinoa sometimes if it's frozen, it's like not as exciting, but what you can do is like if you saute it up, so then it's not super fast anymore, but I do that. Like I'll saute it, like you, maybe if you're new, you don't remember, but one of the earlier videos that we did in here was this quinoa mushroom pilaf that's like so good, and it's basically like sauteed onions, mushrooms, cilantro, and olive oil with quinoa, and it's super good. And if you type in the group, if you search for quinoa or quinoa pilaf, but even just quinoa, it'll pop up. Otherwise, you can look on my blog, supersimplenutrition.com/blog, versus like the rest of it is just my website. And, you know, having pickles or sauerkraut laying around that you can throw in, having avocados around, you know, that you keep in your fridge so they're good. And if you're a person, again, that does better with the animal protein, like I try to have like, you know, some hard-boiled eggs or some wild salmon, like lox, you know, available that you can just like have with it or something like that. So again, I hope this is helpful. If anyone has any more questions, let me know. I love you all, and I will talk to you soon. Oh, what was I going to say? Snap. I don't remember. It's okay. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.